2.
Party people, the place to be. Live from 58 Dream Street. This is Friday Night Frosthaven on Thursday. And appropriately so, I gotta check my phone. Cedric is in the house.
Really?
Our live setup
Already?
is not conducive to reading the chat conveniently off the monitor. We can see it up there, but I've got it on my phone. It's a hasty setup, but we're doing what we can.
We're doing it live.
I can't tell for sure, but are my pecs popping?
Yes, and also this, like, whatever new setup you have that makes it look like we're all in the same room looks really good.
Yeah.
Yes.
Looks really
It's a
accurate.
very, very, very careful video splicing.
Nobody break the lines that we've made between us so that it looks perfectly that we're being spliced
I
in.
see we were peaking the microphone there, but I think hopefully we've got that under control now.
No.
We'll see. I don't know why, but it was set to by default to basically 110% volume, which is
That's how much I give every time we do an Outpost video.
yes. So here we are, live. Well, we're always live, but like
Together.
in the flesh. We're legitimately in the same room for the first time since episode 0, the unboxing that I never put on
That
YouTube.
nobody knows exists.
Because the setup for that was even worse than this.
It was.
This is not bad. It's not great. I would
Not great.
If we were continuing to do this, I would refine it over time. Perhaps buy some more appropriate.
I wouldn't.
Fans of the right side of Rich's face will be sorely disappointed
Oh,
tonight.
those
like-
people are wrong, though.
It's a start.
Yeah.
It's a start. We're here we are to celebrate our 100th episode, our 100th Haven of Frost. Cedric, thank you for that. Yes, so check it out. We made it.
We made-
100 episodes. The haters said we couldn't do it.
Who's that, would you say?
I don't know, but I know they're out there. And I'm just really glad that we did this. Just entirely to spite them.
Spite is a powerful motivator.
We're here,
Keeps us all alive.
and we're going to do an Outpost phase,
Yeah.
but in person and with a little within the terms of service celebrating.
Woo!
Yeah. So, check it out. Player 1 playing the I can't read it off the screen anymore. The Savas Pyroclast.
Oh,
the
great.
That's the one.
Overwatch.
Nailed it.
It's Rich. How you doing, Rich?
So good. Do I look at you or do I look at the screen? Who do you guys want me to look at? Sound off in the chat.
You can glance at me occasionally. It would be strange if we never looked at each other the entire time.
Again, don't break the lines. Make people believe.
It's like on a talk show. Like Conan he doesn't talk show anymore, but he looks at the audience sometimes. He looks at the guests sometimes. You got to involve everybody. That's what I do when I'm hosting panel discussions in my class. Just every now and then. The real hard
Scan
part
the room.
in the big theater is that there's everybody in the right wing of the theater where I gotta kind of go. And then at the end when I'm like, hey, questions. Anybody got any questions for our guests? I sometimes just wind up, oops,
Yeah.
didn't take any questions from the 4 eager beavers had their hands up
You
right
just
away.
stand up and do a 360.
Yeah. There's a swivel chair, but it sits much hot in that auditorium, but it sits much higher than the other chairs, and that would be weird in its own way.
The classic James move,
Oh.
though. He sat in the middle, super high.
Yeah. So my enthusiasm for beat 'em ups last night while Greg was over really fucked up my face.
Yeah.
Threw a wrench into my recovery. So I'm going to try to speak by only moving the lower half of my
Terrible
face.
time.
And so if it seemed like I'd be like, why wouldn't he be making more happy facial expressions to celebrate the accomplishment of 100 episodes? Well, the answer is simply that my face is all fucked up. Might as well do this. There.
Oh, look
Yeah,
at
look at
us.
full screen. Look at that.
Yeah. There we go.
It's so big.
We have no control anymore over the stream. But we can see it better. Oh my. I don't know how well it's shown up on camera. I'm wearing more makeup than I ever have on my guy face. And I look like shit. So what was the point? Here we are.
It's actually kind of a waste of makeup.
Yeah.
No, it's practice. I didn't put it on because I thought it would look good. I knew that was a lost cause today.
Oh, but the mug is really popping too.
Yeah.
Now that I see us.
Yeah. Yes, it's
It's making a statement. It's making the statement that the
In high
manufacturers
definition.
intended.
okay. So check it out. We're gonna do the outpost phase. Step one is
Sure.
update the map. As always, we have nothing to update on the map. Why did I set it up like this?
I don't know.
I don't
For fun.
know. It's time to go
To the outpost.
to the outpost. Excuse me. I don't know how exactly this is going to work, but we're going to do what we can here.
Okay.
You know what's going to be
Cool
really
thing.
exciting for the people at home? The part of tonight where
Oh, great.
where Jamie joins in.
It's a really smart idea to use the drink that I'm actively drinking as a stand.
I understand the flaw
Well, hold on, James. You have any
from your
straws?
perspective, Greg.
Yeah, like a really long
Yeah.
straw. That'll get the job done.
Hold on. For now, use the glass that you're using.
Hold on, I can just do this.
No, hold on. We got lots of glasses. And now there's a glass that you're not using that's
Okay.
carrying the load.
Classic James.
All right.
Bragging about all the stuff he has. We have lots of glasses.
Oh, jeez, but it looks stupid. Hold on.
Does it look stupid or does it look like it's Frosthaven? Like we're
Hold on. There we go.
yeah,
That's the answer.
just putting it flat?
Just
yeah.
laying it flat.
Alright.
Isn't that what we just did? Wasn't this how we started?
No.
Was
No.
it different?
It's a
I'm
little
used
bottom
to
on the back.
folding it up.
Oh.
I'm used to folding it up because that's what I do on my desk where I have more limited space.
James, these stickers are put on really well.
Some of them are.
As someone who watches stickers applied constantly,
Oh my God.
this is the best sticker
So I'm
work
doing-
I've seen
I'm doing-
in a long time.
I'm doing better than the lad. So the big thing here is that we what was the big thing? Oh, the sticker quality. If you were to review it carefully, you could probably you could tell the story of what came early in the campaign and what came later, simply because
Mhm.
I didn't figure out what the stickers being pre-cut meant, which is very silly because it's obvious once you think of it that it's so you put them over the parts of the board that come up.
The bend, yeah.
Yeah, that's split apart. But yeah, there we go. So we're in the outpost. Before we start, though, I have a puzzle solution to relate.
Yeah, let's do that first.
So check it out. The puzzle was an extension of this riddle about the Prince of Frost. And just like the Prince of Frost riddle, my solution was a marginal solution, which is to say that I with the Prince of Frost one, I solved it, except I didn't understand the third clue and what particular walls it was asking me to count in the Prince of Frost scenario in the realm of endless frost. And so what I wound up doing was I got the first two numbers, and that told me the page. And then I just looked. I was like, well, one of these is called puzzle solution. And the text
Yeah.
talks about the Prince of Frost. Problem
Nice.
solved. For the second part, we were given a clue in the outcome of the Prince of Frost puzzle
Yes.
that said, hey, when you get to the thawed wood scenario, it was really underlining it to make sure we got it right, that we knew where we were looking. Once you get to the Prince of Frost scenario, I'm going to bring it up. Once you get to the Prince of
perfect.
Frost scenario, it's not perfect. It's also flawed.
Don't-
I feel like the only way to do it would be to back that whole table up, and like you can't do that now.
No, it's too late. We've done, and also that would create problems with shooting board. It is what it is. So
Tis what it is.
it's really underlined when you get to the thawed wood scenario. Keep in mind the clue: top, bottom, right, or up, down, right, or up, right, down. It was
Yeah.
3 directions. 3 of the 4, D-pad directions.
Yeah.
So okay, we did the thawed wood scenario, and then I set to work. I reviewed the text of all sections in the scenario and looked at the map, looking for anything that would say top or bottom or down to me, and I saw nothing. I said, all right, well, I'll come back to this later, because I hadn't even done the teardown. So I was like, I should get back to the teardown. One part of my teardown is punching into our spreadsheet any new items that we have. So we got the Ember Energy Source, And I'll hold this as close as I can, and hopefully
Oh, that was good for a split second.
it was.
Oh, there it is.
Yeah, so if you look at this, hopefully
really good.
you can see how as
You're really good at
soon
that.
as I looked at the item, the puzzle was solved because there are just numbers written on the item in the script of Frosthaven. However, those numbers, 4 of them, I believe.
Yeah.
Yep. So you're supposed to ignore one. Do the top, bottom, and the right. One of them is right over a shiny part of the ember energy source,
Mhm.
and it's just illegible.
Yeah, just very difficult to
I'm
read.
sorry. That's a young man's game, interpreting whatever that is. So
Let me see. I am younger than you.
you are. That's true. But Greg is much younger.
I also looked, and it's very hard to see.
So, yeah, there you go. I could only get 2 of the numbers, but I found it.
Nice.
I don't even remember how, because it's the middle number that I couldn't get. And I
Like
did.
right there?
Yeah, man.
That's not a number.
Well, it's a number in the Frosthaven number script.
Is it a 4?
No,
Well,
because it's in a special script.
Sort of. It's lines and dots, and every line has the value of 2, and every dot has the value of 1. So I know that I didn't just go to page
No,
40
it's
and start flipping,
1174.
but I don't remember anymore exactly what I did to get to 6. I think I looked and I was like, well, it's one of. I think I had like 3 numbers that I was like, it could be one of these. 6 was the second one I looked at. I remember that.
Oh,
I don't
the
even remember
4,
what the
the
first one was.
4, the 1, and the 1 added up.
Found a puzzle solution, and then Rigodeth.
Yeah.
Cheers, Rigodeth. I'll drink to your health.
Drink to your health off camera.
Oh my goodness, speak of the angels and hear them beat their wings. Rigodeth is here. He says, hello, and well done on the puzzle, James. Congrats on hitting 100, gents. Knew you had it in you.
When would
Stay
you say
frosty.
you realized we had it in us?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good question.
I'm sure Rigodeth is on this.
Do you think
Glad
we're
you're
gonna,
here with us.
I
do you think
realized
we're gonna get to
the-
200?
Yeah. I was gonna say round 12 of last scenario.
I think that we will get to 200 times that we've done something.
I think we're already at 200 times that we've done something. We've been doing this for 5 years.
I mean,
Oh yeah,
I mean,
sure,
like
sure.
broadcast. Yeah, because also we did Friday Night Forgotten Circles.
We did
before that.
Friday Night Forgotten Circles, yeah.
So we'll
Did we
hit
stream Forgotten Service?
Yes.
We did, but it's lost to the internet.
Well, I mean, it doesn't have to be. I could put it there, but it's just really bad.
We were figuring a lot of stuff out. It was a soft launch.
Yeah.
Soft
I
And
still
all
might
3 of
put it
us
in.
know exactly how all of this sausage gets made.
Yeah.
Mainly, I think the thing I regret the most is that I always started Friday Night Forgotten Circles with a screen that just had me on it, and I would say like something, whatever. It's Friday Night Forgotten Circles, fam. Let's meet the crew. And most of the time that was fine. Sometimes I even felt like I came up with a good thing to say, and it was kind of funny. But in episode 2, it went wrong. I had an idea, but I duffed it, and it didn't come out like offensively or horribly embarrassingly. It just came out.
Offensively.
No, I'm thinking, dude. It just came out like I was doing like Family Guy reference for the sake of a reference humor. Not so ashamed of it.
Aw.
So what I think I will do because maybe I should make the Forgotten Circles thing available. I think what I might do is download it and edit that part in. Which I understand sounds absurd,
But it's sometimes necessary.
I cringe still every time I think about it. So yeah, we solved the puzzle, and that leads us to
See some
section
text.
46.2.
All right.
Okay. And it's possible we have 100 episodes just of Frosthaven left, but I don't know because we're getting pretty far through the puzzle book, which is obviously
Are we gonna fight the Frost
the main quest.
within 100 episodes?
Somewhat,
I would not say that we're halfway through. Someone said, "How far through Frosthaven are you?" I would say probably 30%.
Well, we got a lot of dots
Well,
that aren't covered, but you got to remember a lot of
definitely-
those are random scenarios.
Yeah, in the terms of like how much of the
Also, I'm just doing this based on intuition and time.
available scenarios probably were like 30%, but in terms of what will complete the story,
Before we fight the Frost.
as far as we can tell, it's gated by the puzzle book, and we're getting pretty close to the end of it. Not that close, but
Closer.
we're at least halfway through.
Or do you think it's just the gloom comes to Frosthaven?
It could be.
It could be the gloom comes to Frosthaven.
I would prefer the frost to the gloom, and I would prefer neither to either. But we'll see. The gloom is a really disappointing enemy, particularly when you get to him in the final fight, and he's just a sword guy.
Yeah.
And just by himself. He doesn't have minions or anything.
He has some teleporting gimmicks, but like if you wail on him, he dies. It feels very anticlimactic.
It was
Maybe the final
anticlimactic.
boss of Frosthaven is just the Night Shroud.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd
Like,
be
it's just
great.
a level 9 Night Shroud.
Well, anyway, maybe the frost is about to be introduced in 46.2. Puzzle
Okay.
solution. You hear about the fire from the first moment you pass back through Frosthaven's gates. By the time you arrive, the smoke has long since stopped, but you find the Quattro himself, trussed in a borrowed shirt and pants, picking through the charred remains of his study. Work, Crane says, propping up the charred slab that used to be his desk. I know what you're going to say, and I assure you it isn't anything Santa hasn't already told me at length. He eases the slab against the wall, but it cracks in the middle, and the two pieces fall back to the ground. At length. You offer the scholar your condolences, but he's clearly more interested in the stone you brought back from the Radiant Forest. As reliable as ever, my friend, he says, and takes it, still warm in its carrying cage. He leads you back outside the smoldering mess, to where his intact belongings are stacked up in a pile. Much of his gear and books survived the fire, thankfully. But with no place to go just yet, Crane begins the experiment right there on the snowy road. He lights the green lantern and sets it down next to the radiant stone, and it immediately draws a reaction. Thick orange vapor steams off the rock and envelops the lamp. There
Yep,
we go.
that's the one.
Not as a whirlwind, but as a bulging, smoky plume. Crane, muttering something about not wanting to hear Mayor Satha lecture again, turns out the lamp before the vapor builds any more. That's 3 energy sources now, he says with new vigor. That means I can finally move on from fiddling with these little fireplace experiments and get on to the real work. He laughs, and a sinking feeling grows in your stomach. Which reminds me, before the incident, I'd been translating a new section of the book, and I wanted to run it by you. Crane hands you a strip of parchment that's next to impossible to read in the dark. It's an alchemical chart from the book, but it's only partly filled out. I believe the energies from our 3 sites can be combined, but I can't do it without a proper alchemist who understands all this. See if you can recruit one. Then we should be able to put the puzzle together.
Okay.
In the meantime, Crane heaves his pack over his shoulder and picks up his lamp. I need to find a new room. Rewards. Turn to the next page in the puzzle book. And indeed, I did throw a glance to the next page of the puzzle book.
Can I interrupt you for 1 second?
You certainly
Yeah.
can.
If there's another big read, I think this like we never get an opportunity for a Greg read.
Yeah.
We should do a Greg read.
Yes.
James doesn't feel great about that idea.
No,
James,
no,
you're
no,
welcome
I-
to still read. I
No,
don't
wait,
have
we
to
need a
read.
Greg read. I bet the voices are
Okay.
tough for James's face anyway.
Do the event. And yes,
Okay, I'll
it
do
was
the
very,
event.
I think I sort of did Crane's voice.
I think we should do this like.
You got it.
I
Yeah.
think we should do
Check it
this,
out.
like Passover style. Everyone gets
This
a little.
puzzle is entirely based on the alchemy chart.
Then Rich says no thanks.
You know, where we brew our potions. So check it out. Yeah. You see?
Mm-hmm.
Brewing potions. So, there are 3 clues that all say things about potions, but they only show you the picture of the potion. It says, same chart as this one. It says, recipe close to this black one. And then it says, between this white one and this shiny red one.
Okay.
Here is my even just in glancing at this, I immediately started thinking, even though I said I would try not to think until we officially opened it. And so here are the thoughts that I have formed. Let me see.
I think we have all of these potions.
I don't think we have a single one, but
Sure.
yes,
I
Is
think
that
I
what
think
that-
somewhere in the middle.
Oh,
is not.
these are the more advanced forms.
exactly.
Yeah.
So check it out.
Majors.
Same
The majors,
yeah,
Oh.
same
Fucking majors.
same chart as this spiky fellow, Well, how about this slightly less spiky
Yeah,
fella?
there we go.
The
Okay.
major, or the regular stamina potion. I think it's the major stamina potion. It also...
Wait, do we have regular? I thought we only had minor. Is there a third one? Is it like minor, regular, major?
No.
I think it's
I
minor.
was just
and
saying
major.
minor as
Okay.
though it didn't have anything. You know, it's just called stamina potion.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
They're not called minor.
interesting.
I think
Did
I
you
think
know
they,
that?
No?
I think they were in the first game. but
I
I'm
think
not
they were
sure.
in the first game, but then they weakened it, so they were like, whatever.
And then, do we have it
Yeah,
down here?
that's
Let me
determined.
look. Let me look. Yes.
Yeah, that's the
Yeah.
more advanced version of that.
So-
Okay, gotcha.
It's between these two, right? Well, I think that's the major cure potion. And I assume what a major cure potion does is it removes all negative conditions you have.
Yeah.
Because the regular one removes one.
Trash.
And so, putting this together, do we have any of those? No, we don't. But,
But the only one that's big enough to have something that's between is the one that is.
well, the Rockroot one is big enough to have a between, but I don't think it's the Rockroot one.
Hmm.
Because,
Well, because we have one in the rock root and it's neither of those.
yes, that helps too. But also just, I looked, the Cure Potion is made from Arrowvine and Corpse Cap, and the Stamina Potion is Arrowvine and Snow Thistle. And indeed, there's a full Arrowvine chart where we already got the major Power Potion,
Yeah.
and we had the Power Potion also from Arrowvine and Aesther. So I believe it's going to be this one. We just need to, like, we don't even
Figure
need
it
to
out.
find the major stamina, or like, we'll know we're on the right track, like Battleship, I guess, if we get this
Yeah.
this black one. But I think the real key is to find the major cure potion in particular. And this might be the major frenzy potion, actually.
Hard to tell.
Do I have the frenzy potion down here? I might have put it back.
Well, hold on. It might be this one too that's kind of dark.
The
It's
hammer?
just- No.
No.
This I think is probably the major, like, death potion, or possibly the major. Was there a smoke one? I don't know. Doesn't matter.
If there is, we haven't found it yet.
Yeah.
So, the power potion, the base one, is Arrowvine plus Axenut, and the major was Arrowvine, Axenut, Corpse Cap. And so I think we can assume the two base ingredients will remain constant. And therefore, if we have the stuff to do it, Arrowvine, Corpse Cap, and
Something.
something. We should try that
This'll
and
rock
see if we
root,
can
yeah.
find that major cure potion. I think it's probably Rockroot or Snow Thistle, because we could put Corpse Cap with Flame Fruit, but then that can't have anything between, unless
Yeah.
it's vertically. Hold on. No Thistle Stamina. No, because that's not a stamina. So
Yeah.
So that seems like a fair bet. And when we get to that part of the Outpost phase, we'll test the theory.
Can't wait.
Can't
Okay.
wait.
So hey, the puzzle book. On we go. This
Nope.
is a single puzzle page,
Uh-huh.
so we don't need to solve a secondary puzzle once we've solved the first one.
Well, now we move on to the Outpost phase proper with the passage of time.
The passage of time, the worst part to do during this particular episode. However,
Yeah, I don't have access to this part. I've not been given access to this particular screen. I tried.
an oversight on my part. Oh no.
Oh, is this what the people see?
Is it? Well, the people don't see this bit. The people just see the chart updating. James is doing a whole bunch of
Can the
behind
people
the
still
scenes.
see us?
The people can still see us,
Oh, good for
even
the
though we
people.
can't see them.
Good for the people.
The people are living that life.
Okay,
There we go.
we are that much closer to the next winter. I do not think that we are solving the Lurker quest line, and so
Now,
a huge number of Lurker attacks event cards
Might
will
come.
join the Outpost. But what are you gonna do?
now, do we have a thing to do? You've got a
Oh,
number
smokes,
in
we
here.
do. I hadn't added the exclamation point yet,
Oh,
but
no.
we did have a thing to read, and so I must read it. Oh, but first, ugh.
There you go.
Yeah. Okay. So yes, in fact,
Oh, is that screen
we must read.
just on the shared
Yeah.
Excel?
Yep.
I've never opened that one.
Nope.
Yeah, I built the whole thing is just a Google spreadsheet.
That one
But the
doesn't
whole
say-
bunch
So
of
many things that
That
just
one
Google
doesn't say
spreadsheets.
rich.
a whole
or
lot of
shop.
not public facing stuff that is there to let us share information about the game.
Yeah.
And then a whole bunch of stuff that we share to the public. By a whole bunch, I mean 3.
I mean, I showed them both of my kids' faces and names.
Yeah. Yeah, we're very, very open with the public. Okay. Section, 133.1. Don't recall why we put this there, but I guess it'll come clear when we start
It will
reading.
become clear when we read, yeah.
Can't wait for it to become
Section 133.1. Aesther Enhancements. If Building 44 is not yet built, but it definitely is, because that's the enhancer.
Yeah, we've built the enhancer.
But if it wasn't built, we would push it further down the calendar and stop reading. You walk. Oh God, the pain. You walk into.
Do you want me to do it?
No. If you want to read the thing, but no. I'll just read the thing. You walk into the newly built enhancer shop and marvel. It is already one of the most impressive structures in Frosthaven. Voice of 8 truly has exceptional craftsmanship. Nira smiles at you from behind the counter. Does anyone know who Nira is? Is she one of the Voice of 8? She's an Aesther, I assume.
I don't remember who Nira is.
We're going on.
Voice
listen.
of 8 just has your voice.
Yes, but she's only one of them. It's that their 8 voices blend to sound like my regular speaking voice.
Just do the same voice as Hale.
I'm not doing Halo. She's an Aesther. We're going to assume. If it turns out not, then she's a Marilyn Monroe kind. Ah, our champions have arrived. Since you were so instrumental to us in establishing our outpost, we have decided to gift you the gold necessary for our enhancement rituals. If you would like to partake of our services, of course. And so we gain 50 gold each, which we must immediately spend on enhancements. Let me go get the book, which has the formula.
But we don't.
So you think that, like,
Oh, we also don't have our ability cards.
Yeah.
Okay, we're
And I
gonna,
also think it's the most boring thing in the world to watch us decide
It's-
painstakingly.
yes. So let me
What to
just
put an
let's just
enhancement
take a
on.
look. Let's just take a
Do you have
look.
any stickers?
boots though? Like,
Nope.
can I get boots in this?
Not tonight.
Oh, Richard. The world
Enhancements.
hates.
Enhancements. Purchase enhancements. Okay. Appendix D.
100th episode.
With
100th episode.
50 gold, here are the possible things that could be available. I'll read us that. With 50 gold, we could possibly get move +1, attack +1, range +1, but not target target shield or retaliate +1, pierce +1, heal +1, push +1, pull +1, teleport +1, summon HP +1, summon range +1. But we can't enhance our move or attack for our summons with only 50 gold.
I would love a pull +1.
We can add regenerate, but we can't add ward, strengthen, bless, wound, or immobilize. We can add poison. We can add muddle. And that's all we can do. Based on the prices here, the most valuable things that you can add to cards in this game are curse,
Yeah.
wild element,
Yeah.
immobilize, and the most valuable is well, I think in some cases an area of effect hex could be the most valuable.
The pull +1 would be like something that already pulls, right? Or could I add pull 1?
No, because the sticker that you're adding for enhancement is
Okay.
literally a +1, and it just goes next to the existing thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Then I'm less excited about a
Yeah.
pull +1 because
But
I don't.
so I'm not going to read all the details, but some of those have a cost of 30 or 20, so we in theory have 2.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And I assume we're also allowed to bring our own gold into the mix here. At any rate, hey, we're going to do enhancements the same way we ever did enhancements in the base game. The one time it said, here's a bunch of fucking gold and you have to do an enhancement.
So we get 50 gold, but we can only spend it on enhancement?
Yes.
I can't just get 50 gold.
No.
Damn.
No,
Cool.
You can't just
have to
enhance how much
change.
money you have.
Yeah.
Yeah. I enhanced my wallet.
Plus
Enhance
50.
my
Yeah.
wallet.
I put 50 plus ones
Alright.
in that wallet.
Well, if that's the passage of time, everyone will remember to do the 50 gold worth of enhancement
Oh,
beforehand.
it's 50 each?
It's 50
Yep.
each.
Ooh, yeah, I am just going to do pull and push.
Have not
Okay.
responded yet to Martin's comment. Oversight on my part. It's been a day.
Mine just said we did great. Mine didn't have
yeah.
a ton to say.
Martin especially liked my work, I think.
I think especially like Jamie's work, and I agree. And Martin did say he hopes Jamie will be back soon. And I think the idea
Jamie's
of
coming back tonight. There's going to be 4 of us at one point.
Yeah.
but I think my
Here he
plan
comes now.
is to tag
Why did you
team
look, James?
just in case. You never know. You never know when you're about to be killed and replaced by the creation of your own mind. But yeah, what I'm gonna aim for is tag teaming. So I'll bring the Miss Thumpa will be back for this to be the snow dancer, and then we'll switch over.
It would be really funny if Jamie was here instead of James for the 100th episode.
I was saying that I was really glad that we beat the scenario, because if we hadn't beat it, it would be like, well, we're starting the thawed wood scenario again for episode 100, and I'm not there. But no, I'm here. Okay,
Ready?
we're ready.
Outpost phase. Outpost event.
This is it, Greg.
So I'm
This is
gonna
your
read
big
this.
moment.
This is your big moment.
Yeah, I bet.
Hold on.
You're doing it
First, you have
right.
to say summer outpost event number.
Summer Outpost event number 21. Outpost. Do I read that bit?
You don't need to read that.
Okay. Yeah, I bet you'd like that. Make me drag this up the frozen path, then stiff me for the payment. A man pulling a sled piled high with goods shouts back over his shoulder at a group of rough-looking outposters. Liars and cheats! No decent people in this place. You stop him and ask what's wrong. Those crooks tried to convince me the lady who ordered this stuff for delivery died in a raid. They tried to get me to leave this stuff with them. Except I saw her talking with them not 10 minutes ago. Scammers trying to get an honest merchant to leave their goods without payment.
Classic.
You don't want to pay? I'll drag it back down to White Oak myself. The hollowing of the White Oak is New York. The hollowing of the slighted merchant has attracted enough attention that the group of outposters he's accusing have begun to disperse. Option A. Nobody gives Frosthaven a bad name. Go encourage the outposters to pay up. Option B. No sense in dragging all those resources back down the mountain. Offer to buy them yourself at a discount.
Ooh, B.
Oh, I don't know. How much gold do we have collectively?
No, I need my boots.
You need your boots? I need gold for
But
my
the boots
quest.
are crafted, right?
But he doesn't have the resources.
I gotta buy the
But that's what we're about to buy from this guy.
Maybe.
So basically, I could maybe be buying boots from this guy?
It depends
There's-
on what his
But like,
resources are.
there's a chance I'm getting
Get
boots
you
out of
in
this?
parts.
There's a chance I leave this
pair of
house tonight
Yeah.
with boots?
You almost certainly will leave this house with a pair of boots, Rich. Like, it's going to be very difficult for you not to. We have a lot of supplies.
But not 5 minutes ago, you said not tonight.
That's because James was taking a long time and I was making a joke about James.
I
The
took-
length of his
I took that very seriously. I was like, fuck, I'm not getting my boots?
Okay, collectively, James has 5 gold, I have 64
I have a
gold,
billion.
and you have 15 gold.
Yeah,
a
Your
billion gold.
Your gold is essential.
My gold is essential.
Yeah.
I need that to graduate. Your guys' gold is less so, and I guess we could skip the resources we get from buildings if we buy a bunch of resources from this guy.
Yeah, I mean, you can have all, you can like use all my gold.
I also think convincing the guys to pay up would probably depend on what our characters are. And
We don't know that.
well, I can look it up.
No,
But
that's impossible.
unless one of us is like, I don't know, has the haggle ability, it seems unlikely.
I'm intimidating, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, okay, intimidating might be.
Part
But
of us
hold
has
on,
to be
I might
intimidating.
not be intimidating. You know, I don't have my card in front of me. And maybe
I can look it up. It's on the internet.
maybe my last character was the intimidating one. You know?
But I mean, if
That
we
was
wanna...
definitely true.
That was definitely. I think we were all intimidating at one point.
Yeah.
We had a really fucked up crew. But if you guys just want to buy resources, we can just do the buy resources bit.
Yep.
Unless you think there's some additional benefit to convincing everyone else to.
I'm gonna do.
Well,
I'm gonna role play this as me,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna say let's just avoid the conflict and spend some money.
Let's do it.
Option B. Lose 20 collective gold. After some significant back and forth, you calm the merchant down and convince him you'll help make his trip worthwhile. He doesn't look happy about it, but he agrees to sell you some of what he hauled up here so that he doesn't have to take everything back through the treacherous frozen pass. Gain 3 collective wood, 3 collective metal, and 3 collective hide.
Okay.
And then there's an otherwise, but that's only if we don't have 20 gold, right?
And between Rich and myself,
What do you have?
do we have?
You have 20 gold exactly between the
Done.
two of you.
All right, we lose it.
All right.
Easy come, easy go.
I think it
That's
is
what they
important
said.
that
You
we
cannot
know that we
take it
both
with you.
lost 100% of our gold, which means that this is a 50-50 share.
Yes. All right. Then cool.
That's how I feel.
We're good. So now we will gain 3 of everything. I'll put it in the outpost. So that brings us up to 10 hide.
Oh, boots are most definitely made of hide.
Oh man, so much hide in a book.
Hide and wood.
That's a lot of resources. So that's pretty good.
Yeah.
Right.
Good deal.
And
deal.
I'll leave you that to put back in the thing.
It's not a discount. We paid 20 and got 9 resources that would have each cost us 2 gold each, so 18. But
The
you
art of the
can't
deal.
buy that much that fast, so there is a convenience element here. But this guy shouldn't be so grumbly. He should, in fact, be
Yeah.
really grateful.
You guys, the happiest.
Well, actually, that's just part of that's the work. He's
I
grumbling. I guess you're only going to give me 18 gold or 20 gold. Sorry, I said 20, right? Not 18.
This was the full avoiding conflict thing where you don't bother haggling in a country that expects haggling,
Yeah.
and they're just
Yeah.
like, tourist,
Oh my
idiot. Okay, building operations.
God. Okay. Well, we got the mining camp. I'll zoom in. It's the mining camp. We can spend collectively up. We can buy up to 2 metal at 2 gold a pop. But why would we?
I'm going to make a radical suggestion. I'm the only one that can spend right now,
And you don't want to?
and I don't want to because that's part of my goal.
Yep.
And also we have 11, 8, and 18 of the core.
Yes, we're
things.
well stocked, and we just bought a ton.
Yeah.
It's not like anyone's gonna say like, "What the fuck are you doing? You just spent your outpost phase not getting any stuff." So then we move on to the hunting
Martin will
lodge.
probably have some issues.
Same deal.
tonight.
No, he shall not.
He'll be like, Rich, you should not have spent 15 gold.
No, we won't. And yeah. The comments I recall.
James committing to this bit. Oh,
Love man apple juice.
that felt kind of like it was behind us. Anyway, go on.
Love apple juice. And
It's great. Good stuff.
yep. And we what am I trying to say? I don't know. Oh yeah.
That
I remember
Martin
this
is going to say
specific-
Rich is doing a great job.
It was actually
Yeah.
drive-by
He is-
commenters whoever said like, or most of the time. I think Martin has
yeah.
sometimes said like,
No,
"You
someone was
should-"
like, it like kills me to watch you guys.
someone
do
said like it's
this."
like really stressful. It makes me anxious. It's like, well, I mean that's what honestly like that is kind of part of the mission statement here.
Yeah.
Like what I'm playing like, yeah, the person who found my Dark Sun playthrough recently and commented a bunch on it. We had a few chats. It was nice. Comment, folks. We love to chat. It's a parasocial activity, but at the scale of audience we have, it's really just social.
I should change my YouTube name was is still Rich the Banner Sphere, and I haven't been Banner Sphere for
Yeah.
over 1 year.
Maybe you should
So-
change it.
Yeah, and the person playing Dark Sun was like, I think missed my description at the start about how I had let the audience members pay to create pay with their points, their channel points to create the party members. I was like, it's really strange the choices you've made for this party. Like it's quite suboptimal. Like you're gonna find like it's really really hard. And that actually wound up. It was kind of cool because by the end they were like, well, You definitely made this way harder for yourself than you needed to. But it was interesting because I've never even used the Ego Whip ability, which my useless psionicist, James, the psionicist thief who couldn't do anything except Ego Whip, I couldn't do anything. So I just Ego Whipped again and again. And Ego Whip, if it succeeds as a psychic attack, just prevents an enemy from attacking.
Okay.
Which turned out to be the essential part of my Dark Sun strategy. Was to,
I mean,
as long as the big guys can't hit us while we wear them down. and so it was cool. But like, yeah, there's a dedicated. I'm gonna like, he didn't specify Cedric, but I think if he did specify, I think it was the more like, why do you have a psionicist thief with bad stats? And like, why do you have any of this stuff? I think he might have said, why did you make the half giant a cleric? But it just, you got the idea.
It is what it is.
He wasn't like, it wasn't that. I've been remarkably free of that kind of nerd being like, you're actually doing this wrong. Instead of just like, wow, I can't believe you're doing it like that. That's insane. And similarly, we've had that about resources. But we're doing good. No one's going to feel that way today. We got 3 of each.
Mm-hmm.
Logging camp.
Boom.
2 lumber for 2 gold. No, thank you. The inn. Collectively buy 1 of anything for 2. Nah.
Not happening. Not
We'll
tonight.
pass. It's garden time.
Okay.
Plant herbs. And then rotate this card 180 degrees and then stop. We have herbs planted. But we only have 1 plot planted. So do we want to plot the other one? We have a flame fruit plot. Flame fruit plot.
Yes. So we have a flame fruit plot. Flame fruit. Jesus
Yep, it's
Christ
tough.
Almighty.
It's tough.
Um.
It's hard.
Well, we've got 2 flame fruits right now, so I don't think we.
No, I don't think we need more flame
I think
fruit.
we've got a flame fruit production thing going here. My issue is, do you think the flame fruit will be useful for our finding of a potion?
I don't know how useful it's going to be for the puzzle. In fact, I guarantee you, the flame fruit, if we look at the alchemy chart carefully, the one we assume it's on, the flame fruit is this one.
Mm-hmm.
It's a column marker, and it's on the far left of the chart. Far left of the chart, yes. So it literally cannot be between things. So no, it's not going to be essential to
So
it.
here's my thing, James. If we plant something, then
Yep.
we are not going to be able to craft a 3-thing potion.
Because we only have 1 of each thing.
We only have
right
1
now.
of each thing except a flame fruit. So if we could do a flame fruit thing, but it's not going to bring us closer to the puzzle answer.
All right. Well, it's frustrating. Hey, waffle syrup doesn't appear on screen because this is a whole new scene collection and I forgot to add the stupid animation.
All right.
Or it happened and we didn't see it.
Also,
One of
very
those two
possible. We
things.
were all looking at our
But
phones.
waffle syrup is here. Subscribed on a 42-month streak. Holy smokes! I'm humbled anytime anyone subscribes at all. So feeling extraordinarily humbled. He didn't see the animation either. Okay. It's a bespoke screen made in haste. But hey, he's here. Wishes a happy 100. It is a happy 100.
Well,
If you had told me when I was 30, even like when I just turned 35, this changed in the year I was 35. But when I turned 35, if you had told me that I would ever do 100 of anything, create 100 of anything that wasn't a work thing that I absolutely had to do,
mm-hmm.
I would have been like, no, that's just not possible. I'm literally in my life, I'm going to work, and then I'm going to feel anxious, and then I'm going to lament the things I haven't done. And then I got my ADHD medicated. Here we are.
James, an interesting correction on that. Danielle has something that could make it that we could craft a 3-thing and put something new in the garden.
I'm not even going to ask because I feel very confident on this particular day. That if I was like, hey, babe, it would mean a lot to me.
Can we have your X nut?
Yeah. So what does Danielle have?
Danielle has, so we have at least 1 of everything except the snow thistle.
Okay. All right.
So what do you want to plant, and then what remaining 3 things do you want to make something out of?
The remaining 3 things will include a corpse cap.
Yeah.
So corpse cap. We don't have snow thistle, so rock root. We're going to make arrow vine, corpse cap, rock root. So let's plant an arrow vine. No, an axe nut. Plant an axe nut.
Yes, let's plant an axe nut.
We are planting axe nut.
I am taking Rich's axe nut away.
Okay.
We are
Wait,
planting.
do I need that for boots?
No, not today, sir.
You can see our garden and my arm.
Watch as our garden grows. And we have space for one more thing, too?
We sure do.
Man, we gotta plant everything. It'd be great if we could plant one of each.
Oh, so an interesting thing I just noticed. We have a level 2 garden right now.
Yep.
And I just added the axe nut sticker to the level 2 slot. What's interesting with that, you ask? The interesting part is that the only other slot, because there's only 3, is a level 4 slot. So the level 3 garden,
Does something else?
perhaps it grows things faster?
Very possible.
Who knows? I guess time will tell.
So now we gotta put that in the deck facing a certain way?
Yeah, turn upside down.
Great. Shaboom.
Put it in. Perfect. Okay. It's the craftsman. Doesn't have an effect during the operations phase.
Nope.
We can do this faster. The
Sure.
alchemist does nothing
Yep.
during this phase. The enhancer, as we discussed, is something we will deal with between now and next time.
Off screen, yeah.
The library is just a thing. It's just there.
For now.
The workshop is done. The specialist, the boatswain / sled swain / what was the other thing he built first?
Climbing gear.
Climbing gear.
Swain.
I guess he
Swain.
so like. Anyway, the swain is at rest now. The carpenter just lets us spend less. The stables don't matter because we haven't captured a pet yet with our net.
I can't
The
wait.
town hall only affects how many challenges we draw, and we have a full barracks. Operations phase concluded.
Complete. Okay, now we're into the boots phase.
Yes.
Downtime.
Boots.
So first of all, I level up. I
good
reached
for you.
level 5. I've selected my card and everything. It's at home. Perks. Happens at any time, but it's in here. Retire a character. None of us are retiring yet. Creating a character. None of us need to do that.
Out of curiosity, Greg,
Yes.
how hard was the choice of your new ability card?
So hard.
It was. This one was fairly easy for me, but only because I know what. I know both options are solid, but I know what direction I want to go in. So, like, it was like a summoning versus a, like, become stronger as yourself option. And so I was like, I decided to become stronger as myself. Because I don't get too many summons out, and this will help in
Yeah,
a big way,
Some
as we'll
people-
see.
that's a decision some men make.
Mm.
I'm leaning hard in the opposite direction.
And
Becoming
yeah,
stronger as an alter ego.
craft items. Crafted items, non-potion items can be crafted by interacting with the craftsman. So,
Crude boots.
what do you need? What do you need to make crude boots,
Well,
Rich?
that's on the thing.
Well, that's unfair.
Alright.
How was I to know I
How
would
do we
have to do
How do we
that?
get to the thing without a computer in front of me?
I can get the cards if Greg doesn't want to.
I can get it.
He can do it. It's all in the spreadsheet. He's just doing it on his phone. If we were doing this regularly, I would have hooked us up with a second computer. I even
Crude
asked
boots?
Danielle, "Can we use your computer?" She said
Now,
yes.
Is it crude boots you're looking for? Or are you looking for a more advanced form of crude boots?
Oh, a more advanced form of crude boots would be even better. Just boots?
Well, you gotta get the crude boots first.
You
'cause
gotta
they're
get the
an
crude boots
ingredient.
first, and then make.
But also, you gotta get the whatever the lowest level axe is. Look into what I know. He needs
yeah.
a power potion, and a hammer potion, and an axe to make his abyss axe.
Hold on, crude boots. Let me find these first, because this is the thing Rich cares the most about. Cost 2 hide.
He's really into these boots.
And
Only
then-
2 hide.
During your move ability, add +1 move. And then if you wanted to upgrade them to leather boots, you would have to spend, or to rough boots, you would have to spend an additional hide. And that would take it to, during your turn, add +1 to all your move abilities. So,
Laundry day tomorrow, or I would have worn a color other than.
All my move abilities. I never played 2 move abilities at once.
and then there's more beyond that, but you should probably just start with the crude boots.
I'm gonna do the crude boots.
Okay, so first up, let's take away 2 of our hide. So I'll just take it out of the outpost. We've got so much in the outpost. We've 10 in the outpost. So screw that. We're down to 8. And now, let's look up what Rich needs for his axe.
Leave that changed. That's what. Okay. It can't be much for the axe. It's just a piece of shit axe.
I mean, let's not belittle the axe.
I mean, the abyss axe.
Oh, the abyss axe is good.
I'm just talking about the
but he
piece
has
of shit
some-
axe,
yeah.
the base. I assume it's called like the crude axe.
So the abyss axe, you've just written the numbers in here.
Yeah.
29, 101, and 112.
29 is the
29 is cleaving axe.
cleaving axe.
That takes 1 lumber and 2 metal.
Done. Can I have that?
Yep.
Yes.
During a melee attack, 1 enemy adjacent to the target suffers 2 damage.
Ding ding.
Okay, so
Right.
I just got to write that down. I need to
So, for the 2 potions you need to complete your axe, you're
one
going to
lumber, 2
need
metal. 1 lumber, 2 metal.
1 rock root, 1 axe nut, 1 snow thistle, another axe nut, and an arrow. So let me say that again. 2 axe nuts. There we go. 1 snow thistle, 1 rock root, 1 arrow.
Can I have that stuff?
No, we just discussed that we don't have most stuff yet.
Okay.
Yep.
So hopefully we loot some herbs.
Speaking of, let's do a potion. That's next up. No, I'm not using the craftsman. Is anybody else?
Yeah, my boots.
Let's move on to the potions then.
Jamie might, but she'll figure that out on her own time.
So what?
Uh,
So we're gonna make a potion, and we need 3 things.
And we settled that it was going to be Aerovine, not Aerovine. Yes, Aerovine,
Aerovine, yes.
Corpse Cap,
Caps
and Rockroot,
and
right?
rockroot. Yep,
Okay. Well,
because we're taking Danielle's rockroot.
yeah, we're punching this. Here we go. Punched. 107. The Vigor Potion. I will fetch the Vigor Potion card.
Nice. James just trips and the whole stream just
Yeah.
goes and it destroys.
I did that in the unbox.
Yes,
Yep.
it's a good day. Oh, we can also sell items if we have anything to sell.
Whatever I was
Go
got on
ahead
my
and
feet
remind
before.
me what potion what number I just said?
The Vigor Potion, which is potion 107.
107. Okay.
Also, you also have the net, which is a one-hand item, I think. So you need to decide at the beginning of scenario whether or not you're bringing the net or not. Which should be fairly simple because we'll be able to see what monsters are available. And if one of them is one we can catch, maybe that's a day for the net rather than a day for the axe.
So I love net more than I love axe.
But sometimes the net won't be used at all. Like if we're just fighting demons, you can't catch one of them.
And the axe is also just for fighting 3 specific enemies that are
Yeah.
personal quest. So it's very much a thing where you I can just tell you what monsters we're facing, and it will be very clear which things are useful. Which aren't.
Always net. Got it.
Yes.
Sometimes it might be the case that we're fighting a bunch of frozen corpses and they're piranha pigs.
Yeah. And then you gotta make a tough call.
Net and trident. The
So-
best gladiator. I think by far.
We have this handsome looking blue cerulean potion. The Vigor
Cerulean.
Potion. The Vigor Potion is a small item, like all potions are. It is consumed, like all potions are. It is made of the things we just said it's made of. Aerovine. Rockroot. Corpse Cap. During your turn, perform Strengthen 2 adjacent allies and self.
That's pretty
Oh,
good.
wow, nice.
Yeah. It's like group steroids.
Greg should
You,
have that.
you do the Vigor Potion by popping it and it starts spraying and you spray it on. It's like you're celebrating the Super Bowl.
That is a good one for me. But I think any of us can use it. It's
But like you have the
It's
most
great for you
important-
because you could be surrounded by your own bits.
it's true. I'll take it.
Have it. All right. Boom.
Boom.
The Hive. It's gonna be getting vigorous.
Alright. So unless we have anything else to do,
Never mind that it makes no sense. Why would the potions have any effect on a robot?
Why would a robot be programmed to feel hate?
It'd be fun.
Yeah. The answer is ultimately just it's magic.
Mhm, mhm.
The answer is magic.
The Force.
It makes a man turn neutral.
We're on to construction.
Just for power. Alright.
Construction.
Construction.
So we got buildings that we can build.
We have buildings to build. Please tell us, Craig.
Boot stores.
Based on the thing we have.
When it says buildings available?
Oh God.
Which
Hopefully
you
I've
haven't-
updated that, but I bet I haven't.
No, not in a long time. You've got Wall C, Wall D, Wall E, and gardens, but we're Prosperity level 5 now, so we have a ton of things we can build.
We have built the gardens. I don't think there are any buildings that we have revealed and not built.
No, I don't believe there is, because we built the stables.
Could we
So
just make
let's
our
look-
garden better?
For what we can upgrade.
I think we can.
At Prosperity level 5, we can upgrade the mining camp, the hunting lodge, the logging camp, the inn, the garden,
Mm-hmm.
the craftsman, but please no, not tonight. I don't want to introduce that.
The
The
garden.
alchemist. No, the alchemist is maxed.
The garden. The garden. The garden.
The enhancer. Hold your horses. The library. The carpenter.
Mm-hmm.
The stables. Not the town hall. And the barracks is plot based for its upgrades. So pretty much
The
anything.
garden.
I think the garden's a good option. I
And-
think the inn is a potentially good option, because I think that might lead to a story thing more so
It
than
could.
it's
It's certainly good.
thing. But the garden is
But
also
I'm hearing
great.
a lot of agitation for the gardens.
Yeah.
And upgrading the gardens would cost us 3 of each resource.
We just got 3 of
Minus-
these stores.
We did -1 because we have the whatchamacallit,
The -1.
The carpenter.
the carpenter. Yeah. So let's go with
Imagine what it could be, what the minus could be if we bought. Yeah, we settled. It's the gardens. I'll go
I
get
think
the
the
next
gardens
card.
is really good. I will do the -1 to lumber because that's the resource we have the least of. So I will take 2 lumber out of the joint. And then I will take 3 of everything else out of, well, the people who have it. So that's 2 out of the joint, and then 3 of the hide, and then 1 out of the joint, 1 from James, and 1. Oop, nope.
Wait, take Michaela's shit.
No.
Michaela's not here to defend herself.
Yeah, when Michaela comes back, which she will this very summer. No, I shouldn't commit that hard.
Alright.
Michaela is starting her nurse practitioner program without dropping down below 100% full time as a nurse.
So what you're saying is she's going to be so hopped up on uppers that she'll be available every Friday for the next period of time.
Forever.
Alright. So there's no event attached to the new garden,
Okay.
but we do gain a prosperity tick, which I will do in physical space. And Greg, could you record in the spreadsheet?
Will do.
No, there's nowhere to record just a tick, because obviously we didn't go up to level 6.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, we have to go
You got me
1, 2,
excited.
3,
We're quite a
4,
ways.
5,
Yep.
6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14 more
14.
ticks
Man.
to reach level 6.
That's a lot.
14 ticks to level 6.
We get one every
Now-
time we upgrade or build a new building. No? So we get at least one, and then
So
we
once
get them
every
through
like 6
events.
weeks.
I'm in the
Cedric
grand
says-
scheme of when we'll
Cedric
play
says
this
we
game.
won't be able to see Michaela on camera because she'll be vibrating too quickly to be captured. She might be here right now for all you know. So the big question then becomes, what's the gimmick of this thing? Since it doesn't want to plant more shit. Yeah, it just there's no flipping the card anymore. There's no phases. Gain 1 collective herb from each planted pot and then plant herbs. It's a more efficient industrial agricultural approach.
Oh, nice. So we don't add a new sticker at all?
No,
Okay.
no, the garden only has a single sticker.
Right, it's just which plot is unlocked.
How many plots are available? Yes,
So we'll only ever have 3 plots in our garden.
maximum 3 plots.
All right.
But they'll be high production plots. We got a irrigation or greenhouse or something.
Okay, and then we could spend.
Words that I associate with the growing of stuff.
We could spend 1 morale to build again, but seeing as winter is coming, I think we should probably save on resources in case those
We should put more into our
Winter is
gardens
coming.
as winter's coming.
Here's
Gardens are famously productive in the winter.
These gardens grow
This
all
one
year
is.
round, man. We gotta have greenhouses or something.
So
Magic garden.
I mean, you can visually tell that it's literally just a garden. Just a fucking garden. But it works.
There's greenhouses. It could be an
I mean,
evil shield.
Even summer,
Don't.
I think in Frosthaven, we're not
South.
supposed to interpret it's like summer here. Where it was fucking shitty and hot. I mean, we shouldn't complain because I know that it's been like brutal heat wave around the world. And we
Yeah.
had 2 days of uncomfortable heat. And then it broke. And now we have, like, the forecast through to Tuesday, like the highest was 23 tomorrow.
Yeah, it's supposed to rain and get kind of cold.
It's going to be chilly. Gotta get your sweaters out. But here's an interesting thing. To upgrade the garden to the maximum level, not only must we reach prosperity level 7,
Oof. So it's gonna be a while.
but it costs 6 lumber, 3 metal, 3 hide, and 1 morale.
Oh.
It's so unpleasant to upgrade the garden to level 4 that it just brings the whole
Bring the whole
mood.
town
Because
down.
everyone's
Bring the
got to
mood
chill.
down.
We have to bring in so much
It's like
manure.
It's like an alternate
It
reality New
smells
York where
terrible.
Cuomo won the primary.
I was just gonna make a local joke about how it smells like a Halifax soccer game on a hot day. When
Oh
the wind-
God!
when
Oh Cedric!
the wind is blowing in a certain
Yeah,
direction.
true.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Cedric says he's on his 5th straight day of 37 degrees Celsius.
Oh, Cedric. I'm reminded of the King of the Hill when they go to Phoenix, Arizona. They say this city is a testament to man's hubris.
I'm reminded, as Greg never is because he is of Arrested
Of
Development,
course, yeah.
where the rebooted. That might be the gimmick. That might be the show between Greg and James beating up Phase 2 and Phase 3 is
Greg
and James
watches.
discuss Arrested Development.
I'll do a recap podcast with you.
He's more used to it than most people here, having lived. Cedric is having lived in South Florida for a decade. Yes, we're used to obscene humidity because we live in Halifax,
Yeah.
but it's but like
Huge
not
redneck
like
city.
not Florida humidity.
No.
Not swampland.
Nah, nothing about our weather is as bad as it could be.
No,
Like,
that's true.
I mean, our humidity is...
or as bad as it is going to be.
yeah.
Yes. I had a friend in university who came from Yukon, and the first time she experienced just September humidity,
Yeah.
she was like, I can't breathe. I feel like I'm underwater. And I was like, oh, this is just Tuesday. This is just
Yeah.
what it is.
Well, our international student registration has significantly declined in recent years.
Mhm.
But in the time when it was just like, yeah,
Really?
we had a
I wish there'd be like, some emails going out about that. I wish someone had told us.
yeah, it's a thing. There was an email today actually.
Yeah, I know. There's an email every day. It's like, hold on to your jobs, maybe.
Yeah, it's all these emails are very vaguely threatening. So what we used to have just like like a Nigeria Ethiopia contingent, for example,
Mhm.
in our student body, I could always get some like serious student engagement with like being like, so it's going to be winter now, and like I'd be like, so some things you're gonna be aware of is that it's gonna be fucking cold all the time,
Yeah.
like and so on. Now it would just be stupid for me to say this because please understand that this is a joke, and I love my students no matter where they come from. But it's all Braden's and Jaden's now.
Yep. My first year at King's, there was a character I almost said, a student who came from Kenya, and when he arrived, it was during an insane heat wave. Like it was literally like 30 degrees, and with the wind felt like a hairdryer. And he got off the plane, and when he got picked up by like the people who were bringing him to the university, he was wearing gloves, and he asked, "Does it get warmer here?" And they were like, "Oh man, this is the warmest it's ever been."
Yeah, you're gonna have a bad time.
Cedric says when he lived in Florida, winter was anything below 26 degrees. Holy smokes. First of all, Cedric, I really appreciate you reporting all these temperatures in Celsius because
Yes.
I have the thinnest of reference points for Fahrenheit. But not enough to fully, because like I know like 100, it's like holy smokes, that sounds hot. And like 68, you're like, all right, that's a normal room
Mm-hmm.
in regular normal temperature. And then all the other ones, I don't know. I guess like 71, 72. As high as I ever turned the heat up.
It was in 38, freezing, like 38.
Cedric says it's the least you can do to keep the game flow going.
Yeah.
And yet, I'm about to start talking about Celsius versus Fahrenheit for a moment.
I'm gonna go knock all this shit over.
All right, okay.
Rich is
All right.
going to pee.
If the stream suddenly ends, it's because Rich had to go to the bathroom. No, he made it.
Great.
So check it out.
Oh, it's always been coming back to this stuff.
Every now and then you see it going around. Used to be Twitter. That's Blue Sky. Someone will start a discourse of being like, "Oh, you know, the metric system. It's all." An American will start this discourse. Obviously, the metric system for everything is the way to go. Except, and I'll die on this hill.
Yeah.
Temperature, where Fahrenheit makes the most sense, and people will chime in. British. Yes.
Yeah, it's in person.
It's in person, and I'm really glad you were able to stop by. I assume this is a hello, I
A
must be
drive by.
sleeping,
Yeah.
but we appreciate you showing up, buddy. So yeah, they'll say like, and people chime in and they'll be like, it's the one that makes sense for humans. It describes how temperature feels to humans. It's intuitive. You know what the and it's like,
No.
it's not that that's not true. It's that that's true of any arbitrary scale of temperature that you've accustomed yourself to.
Yeah. It feels intuitive to you because you learned it when you were 4 years old.
So then the knock on Celsius that you hear sometimes in this discourse is Fahrenheit describes how temperature feels to humans, but Celsius describes how it feels to water. I was like, well, first of all, humans are made of most of what you are is just water. Like, you know, vibrant and unique water.
Yeah.
But the other thing is that
Water that begins a conception.
in many parts of the world, for example, many of the places that use Celsius, it's actually important if the ambient temperature outside would cause water to freeze.
Yeah, very.
So it's super helpful that water freezes 0 roughly, and then also.
I mean, it depends. Ground temperature is different from, but whatever.
Yes.
Yeah.
But like, I don't care about any of that shit. Like,
No.
if I see the temperature is -1, I will assume there's ice out there, and if there's not, because
I mean, you really have to care if you go camping, because if you're in a dip when you're camping, you'll die. But yeah, it's great.
So anyway, which is all to say,
I can feel Rich's comments.
not a knock on Fahrenheit.
I checked
It's
the
only a
weather
comment
before I go camping, but weather has never stopped me from going camping.
Yeah,
Fair.
very fair.
All right.
You bring
Okay.
a different sleeping bag, though.
I mean, you can bundle up. The point is not. I don't mean universally you'll die. I mean if you sleep like
I've never
naked in a
died.
ditch.
I mean, I would choose not to sleep.
British
naked in a
MC's yet to meet someone who prefers Kelvin for day-to-day temperatures, and that's true.
Fair enough.
That's also
Someone
very
named
true.
Kelvin for sure.
And yet, yeah,
Like if there was a way to describe anything
By a rich.
by richness,
it's a whole new.
I would be
yeah.
super.
If someone's like, man, it's below, it's 0 out there. That means like, holy shit.
Yeah.
You mean in Kelvin? Like, we
Jesus
go
Christ.
outside, we'll simply cease to move, like any particle of my body. Yeah. Anyway, I tried to intervene in the latest Fahrenheit versus Celsius. Yeah. Cedric says Kelvin measurements are simple to remember because 0 Kelvin, you're dead. 100 Kelvin, you're dead.
Dead. Yep.
Rago Death says, as an American, knock away on F. Well, an American by way of Germany, right? If I'm understanding correctly. Which, yeah, I bet anybody who comes from somewhere where they do
That's
Celsius.
probably the best kind of American.
I didn't put the political tag on this stream, so I'm just not going to comment.
All right.
Oh my goodness. So anyway, I tried to intervene in the latest round of Celsius Fahrenheit discourse on Blue Sky. But I fell into another form of discourse, which is that every now and then Americans on Blue Sky are just like, fucking Canadians. Don't you hate it when a Canadian thinks they know about American politics? And it's like, so to begin with, like, we're inundated with the fucking politics.
Yeah.
Because it
Can't
affects
get
our
away from
lives
it.
every day.
Yeah.
And also, it's just like,
Because it's good stuff, man.
it's also easy. Yeah,
It's just such
like,
good tea.
it's,
Yeah.
most countries have, like, you know, systems that don't resolve to two parties, and also the two parties have somehow sorted into, here's everyone who believes in anything, and here's the bad guys. Like,
Yeah. It's true.
so it's different in other countries. Like, but like, it's easy to it's great entertainment if you don't think about the way it impacts your life. Which is all to say, why am I saying all this? People get it on this thing about like, fucking Canadians. Some idiot Canadian showed up my mentions commenting on American politics, think they can comment on another country's politics like they know about America. But then the way people always chime into that is to be like, I like to point out to them that this like obscure fact about Canadian politics. And it's like, aren't you kind of suggesting that you actually believe it's possible to learn about another country's politics by reading? Because it just is. It is. You're allowed to have opinions about other countries. You don't know as much sometimes. Every now and then.
I learned a bunch about French politics when they had their election.
I got an
I've forgotten
argument
almost all of it
on
now.
Facebook
but it
with
comes
like
up.
a friend of a friend from Missouri, and
Missouri.
I came away from that
I will
conversation.
be dead in the cold ground.
Why are there
recognize
49 stars
Missouri.
on this flag? And basically it came to a point where I said, she said, like, you don't understand though how crazy our Democrats are with their left wing. And I tried to explain, like, if Bernie Sanders like moved to Canada, he would have to like adjust some of his political positions to the left in order to be in the like centrist party.
Yeah.
And then the friend of a friend from Missouri said, well, there's no point in having a discussion with stupid. Anyway. So here we are. What's next, Greg? What's
We're
happening?
done. This is it. That's the end of the Outpost phase. We gotta
Right.
pick where we go.
That's what we're going. That's what we're signing off on. That's our new
We're
sign
done?
off.
That's
We gotta choose where to go? Okay.
Yeah, that's it.
Greg, could you please go to the Discord?
Oh God, no!
No, wait, hold on. I know the answer to this, actually.
I can't go to the Discord. I don't have it on my phone.
I was born in Missouri.
No, wait, hold on.
Yeah, Cedric the Owl was born in Missouri. But yeah, he agrees with you.
Okay. The next scenario from the Thawed Wood is calendar locked.
Uh-oh.
So, I will temporarily leave the Twitch chat on my phone to access the Discord and
I mean, I can read it from here. It's like line 9 on the eye chart. Like I can get it with my glasses on easy.
okay,
Yeah,
excellent.
if I close my left eye, I'm good.
Yeah.
That fucking eye sucks though.
I have my eyes checked. I'm realizing.
Yeah, but I still saw Biden and LGBTQ plus equality signs in my.
Oh, I can read this. Never mind. Well, I should get my eyes checked. It's been like 5 years and I'm 40 years old.
in my hometown. Yeah, good. Good.
Yes. Boom. So, our list of available scenarios includes in the Alex questline, the Crystal Fields.
Okay.
In the Lurker questline, we could go back to the realm of Endless Frost. I didn't cross Raven's Roost out, but we totally did that, didn't we?
I believe so.
We
Yeah.
slaughtered a bunch of
Was it-
bunch of corpses that would have been filled with Shrike Fiends.
Yeah.
It went really well for us because we killed them all. We could, for no reason, go back to the Spire basement in the Unfettered quest line. We have a job posting scenario called Prison Break, which I believe unlocks a whole. It's a 3-step chain.
Let's do Prison Break.
Cedric says, "Realm of Endless Frost. What's there? It's the Prince of Frost."
Yeah.
An
I don't know.
absolutely obnoxious little prick.
Do you think the current config is better than what we had before? I don't think it is.
I think it is, but I don't know how much. Because
I think let's get Rich more used to his character before we try to kill him.
I think there's
yeah,
that.
Rich is a hard agree on that.
And actually, while I think the Snow Dancer could bring something to the table,
I think the
actually
Snow
think
Dancer
the-
and Rich are going to be great together.
Okay, yeah, that's probably true.
I think they're going to.
But-
I think they're
Once
really
I
going
break
to.
those boots in.
But the Geminate
yeah,
can
yeah,
probably
yeah.
bring a lot to the table for the Realm of Endless Frost.
That's true,
Specifically
too,
in her
yeah.
ranged mode, though. Well,
That's true too.
we'll play it by ear. So, okay, what I'm hearing is we're not going to go to the Realm of Endless Frost. So let's continue the Algux quest line. Let's
Well,
go to
hold on,
Crystal
hold on.
Fields.
You weren't done reading.
Oh, random side scenarios. We could do My Private Empire again, or we could give in and check out the Lustrous Pit. We just received a long message, so let me go back to the Twitch
Yeah,
app.
we can't read all this.
Oh, jeez, Louise.
Oh, no.
This is a long political.
And it's a bullshit thing where it's not going to let me see it. I bet it's... Oh,
I bet it's great.
British
What?
says...
Looks well thought out.
If you get someone like that again, there's a website, Political Compass, that places political parties and politicians from different countries, including the US, Germany, and others, on a 2D plane. It's interesting as a comparison across borders. Not perfect, of course, but still helpful to understand differences. Like with Sanders, you mentioned, James. Yeah, with Bernie Sanders, the thing is, it's just because being from Vermont, he said to have pro-gun policies, but in the context of America, that's, more pro-gun than our, probably Alberta. Maybe not at this point, but,
Alberta's leaning further and further, but yeah,
but
it's not.
it's weird in the Canadian gun control is just a different situation.
Oh, it's
And
very
then the
different.
other thing is that the big radical socialist thing for Bernie Sanders is
This is
of
the thing
course,
that every other
is-
developed country
Yeah.
in the world has.
we should have we should have
Just
single
being normal.
payer health insurance in this country. Well, we have that here. We have for many years. It's covered.
Universal healthcare is such a difficult beast that only 18 of the 19 most developed countries in the world
Different,
have
though.
it.
Oh, for fuck's sake. Rigo Death says, America, Q100 bust. LOL.
All right.
Oh my.
So it sounds like it's either the
I'm
Alcock.
sorry, Mr. Bezos.
It sounds like it's either the Algox quest line or Prison Break. Rich perked up at the idea of a prison
Well, I
break.
just like the idea of a prison break, and I think it sounds like it would be fun.
One of us has to tattoo a prison map on their body,
Hold on. Here's what we'll do.
We allowed to
which
look
is
at it?
all I know about that television show.
I guess, yeah, we can just look at them.
Does Prison Break sound fun? Prison Break, which is somewhere around here. Prison Break, which is a chain of, I believe, 3 scenarios.
Linked?
The overnight crawled through 4 miles of shit.
Came out smelling like roses on the other side.
We both do very good Morgan
Cedric
Freeman.
says Bezos
Thank
can't see any of this because he's busy getting trolled at his wedding. I saw one picture of him and his... Anyway, we should... I do like being on the Twitch platform, Mr. Bezos. And Waffle Syrup says, Prison Break was a decent show. I never saw it, but I heard good things. So check it out. This is a 3-scenario chain designed and written by Alexander J.L. Theoharis.
Okay.
I like the JL.
Well,
The special rules and what's the scenario? Just tell us what the scenario goal is.
barely special rules, and it's a kill everyone and loot or tie.
Ooh.
It's...
No special rules and mostly just kill everyone?
Yeah.
Richard.
Richard?
Okay. And it starts in a really big room made of 5 connected tiles, and then has a second room.
Okay.
It includes frozen corpses in it as enemies, which does suggest we should actually put it off till you have your magic axe.
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
Well, hold
Okay.
on. Let's look at the
I
Algox.
do have my magic net though.
The Algox might have frozen corpses too,
The
which might make it
Crystal
mute.
Fields. It could be
Make it a
moot.
move point.
Make it a moot point. Only a point cows would appreciate.
Crystal Fields. Yes.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Frozen corpses.
So it's a moot point. What's the scenario goal in this one?
Crystal Fields is done when everyone's dead. So how about
Us?
no, all the bad guys,
All the bad guys.
or for that matter, when we're dead.
Oh, so that's just a.
If we're all did we lose, if they're all did we win.
So one is kill all humans, one is kill all humans and loot.
Yeah.
Yeah, kill all humans.
All right,
Alright, we're going to the Crystal Fields.
killing all humans. We're gonna go to the Crystal Fields next time.
Alright. You
All
wanna
right.
hit the road?
Hey, sexy mama, wanna kill all Algox? All right,
Okay. I'm ready for this one. Road event.
hold
Summer...
on.
Ooh, God.
Just one thing I'll say.
Hold on, you're doing it wrong again.
One certain sign of my age would be if you looked at my Facebook activity, which since the pandemic has rarely involved any sort of like anything,
Yeah.
except that randomly I post, "Hey, sexy mama, want to kill all humans," and specifically on December 24th, I say, Xmas Eve. Now the pointless day where I accomplished nothing.
And specifically also on Christmas Eve, James's mom always says like, "Don't say that, you accomplished so
Yeah,
much."
My family really comes through for me on Christmas Eve day when they're like, "We're proud of you, and we'd be proud of you even if you hadn't accomplished the things that you've done." And I feel very affirmed, but that's not what it's about. It's just one of the most quotable 22 minutes of television ever. Xmas story. Comedy's a dead art form,
Mm-hmm.
but tragedy, now that's funny.
Ready?
And so,
Ready.
let's forget about the moldy old aunt of Conan O'Brien. All right.
Summer road
Okay, one
event.
second.
Hold on.
Remember when I said earlier how embarrassed I was about accidentally seeming like I was doing reference humor? Also, look how enormous I look compared to Greg right now. How about that?
Yeah,
We're at a round table.
You're much
If I
more
go
back,
in perspective.
You can see that I'm
I was noticing that too,
Possibly,
where,
like-
it looks like Greg is like 7 inches taller than me. And I don't think Greg is any inches taller than me. Maybe.
No, I'm much shorter than
Okay.
you.
Yeah.
Much.
Rich is the tallest.
You're taller than me by a huge degree.
James is the smallest by far.
Okay.
Greg and James are comparable in height.
Yes. Okay. Summer road event number 35.
I'm a huge chick though.
Oh wait, are we doing a road event? I should have checked that before we did anything.
Yeah, we
Yeah.
got.
Gotta
Well,
get to the
yes.
kill all
I
humans.
don't know. Sometimes you.
I'll go check just to be sure. Cedric says 20-foot giant James like Guy Van from yesterday.
Yeah.
Some really weird perspective in the art for that game.
Mm-hmm.
What am I over here for? To look at the fucking chart.
I think it is because we're far away. I was just checking to see if it was close.
Whoa,
I'm
does-
sure it's
Cedric, do you watch Beat 'em Up? Is Cedric your biggest fan?
Cedric is definitely one of my
Cedric, we get guided by voices. We get quite a few people in
Beat
it.
'em up
Who would you say is 58 Dream Street's biggest fan?
I love all our fans equally.
I didn't
Like
think
you
who do you like more? Who likes us the
who
most?
likes us the most? That's tough to say. Cedric's up there. Cedric is the largest fan. He's eaten all the others. That's the kind of humor I can get down with.
Yes.
It activates the neurons in my brain that remember what it was like to be young.
Why? As the largest friend. Alright. You return to the spot where you discovered a buried blade this past winter. Clearing away the brush that's accumulated on top of it, you find it still firmly embedded in the underlaying ice, as though someone had shoved it deep into a rock underground that continues to grip it tight. A few tugs don't get you any closer. The hilt is covered with beautiful...
A few tugs always get me.
I'm gonna pay for that one tomorrow.
Just a few. The hilt is covered with beautiful lilts and curves that show expert craftsmanship, and the bit of exposed blade still feels sharp to the touch. You don't know how long it's been here, but the warm weather presents your best chance to free it. Option A, pull hard from the hilt. Option B, it's sharp, but you'd have better grip if you grabbed the blade.
No. Hills.
Hold on.
Why would we grab the blade?
Because we're more likely to get it out.
It's like a tough guy thing.
I think if we grab the blade, anybody can get it out, and if we grab the hilt, then only somebody
Well, I
who's
can't remember if my character
specifically strong.
has gloved as a.
Gloves.
He has literally made of,
Well, he's the
of magma.
Oh, true. Yeah.
Yeah, it might be a race thing. It could be a race thing.
Greg's allowed to say that. I know he's pale, but I promise he is indigenous.
It could be a race thing. That's all I'm saying. Yeah, I don't know. What do you want to do?
This is probably winning us points back with Jeff Bezos.
Yeah, why is everything always a race thing?
Species.
I'm gonna have just like a softball for a left cheek.
So you think Blade?
I think Blade.
I also think Blade.
I think Blade is the choice that's the easiest. I think we're taking a chance if we go hilt. Rich, James, what's your opinion on it?
I bet just both approaches. I can see the case for the blade.
Yeah.
All right, Blade.
Rhaego does suggest that probably the real thing here is that grabbing the blade means we start the scenario wounded.
Oh, I assume the blade means we start the scenario wounded. It's whether or not the blade also means we get the sword or not. You know what I mean?
Let's try it.
You want to try it?
Let's grab the blade.
Let's grab the blade. Option B. Armored. Otherwise, are any of our characters armored?
Fuck,
Look at it.
I feel like the Savas has got to be. I feel like they didn't understand how to apply their own trait if they didn't.
Okay,
Give both Savas the armor.
we are looking at characters. The Savas is...
The perils of normally playing remote. We don't have the most fundamental parts of the game here.
The Savas is arcane, chaotic, and intimidating.
Okay.
Well, hold on. Me as
Yep.
the unfettered hive, armored, educated, and resourceful.
Yeah.
There we go. So armored.
Snow Dancer's armor.
You wrap a protected fist, or in this case, just my fist. You wrap a protected fist around the blade and pull
I'll do
hard.
that.
It offers resistance, then comes cleanly free with a stinging ring. The weight of it is perfect. The balance, legendary. Gain Sword of Mastery. Item 209.
Item 209,
Sword
of Mastery.
And if we hadn't have been armored, we still would have gained the sword, but we would have all started with actually disarm.
Oh.
So our hands would have just been so hurt that we couldn't hold our weapons
Can't
for
do
a turn.
weapons.
Not for one turn.
Great job, robot friend.
Great job, robot friend. If it had come down to James, if it had come down to Snowflake,
Hold on.
we wouldn't have done it because James is chaotic, nimble, and persuasive. Oh, you're persuasive. I bet we could have convinced those assholes to pay.
Yeah.
That's the one that would have been convincing.
Yeah, we got some stuff.
Yeah.
Here it is. I don't know how to explain it, but 210 and 209 were out of order in the deck. But
Was it Greg's fault again, like the last thing?
I didn't touch those cards.
no, it's not Greg's fault, but it's probably my fault. But
Okay.
I can't think of why.
I thought you were gonna. I thought it was leading to you somehow still blaming me.
Yeah,
It's
probably-
not Greg's
it's not
fault.
Greg's fault, but
Do you think
I'm gonna hold
Isaac
it
just
against-
packed their own?
Yeah, like it could have been a miss package. I can't think of why I would have taken. Like, how did I fuck it up? But only just by one spot. That seems weird. But who knows? Who knows? Sword of Mastery. There's one of these in the entire game. Now we have it. We can sell it. It costs $60, so we can sell it for 30. It is a two-handed weapon. As you can see, the Sword of Mastery is a serious sword.
Yeah.
Two-hander. It's very shiny, kind of like the white sword in Legend of Zelda, the original, which is not the best sword in that game. During your melee attack ability, this is a spent weapon, so you get it back when you rest.
Mhm.
During your melee attack ability, gain advantage on one attack. For each mastery you have completed, Also add one of the following to the attack. +1, wound, or poison.
Okay, so this is a sword that gets better the more
The
masterful
more
you are.
masterful you are.
Okay.
Who do we think can... It has to be one of the three of us, huh?
Yeah, it has to be one of the three of
Because
us.
Jamie has the most viable sounding mastery.
It shouldn't be. Yeah, it shouldn't be Rich.
Because he's already got his hands full.
Because he's already has hands full. He's got a net. He's got a axe that's coming up.
What do you think, Greg? Can you do any of your masteries?
My
anytime soon?
horn is a one-handed weapon, isn't it? Or is it a light?
It's totally a one-handed item, for sure.
Yeah. So I
You
no,
don't
I
have
don't
to
You
think
wear it
I,
around your neck?
no, it's not a small item. It's a one.
I don't even remember what... Hold on. What does Miss Thumpa use?
Does Miss Thumper have any items?
Would you look in the spreadsheet, Greg? Because I don't know.
Sure thing. Assuming you've updated it.
I have.
Okay, good.
Great job.
Great job by all. James, here we are. James, you currently don't have any hand items. So
Beautiful.
your hands out.
All right.
Do you want this?
Yep.
I'll take it.
All right.
But let me...
My alternate suggestion was going to be we sell it and give the money to Greg.
That's true. That's
could
what
do
we'll
that.
do if I can't get anything out of it.
But once you have it, you're the only one that can get money from it. You can't give the money to me.
What a
Fuck
crazy
you.
thing.
Yeah, the mercenaries in the Haven games don't share when it comes to
Yeah.
gold. This game introduced the concept of we share when it comes to everything else.
But not gold.
Not gold. Never gold.
Maybe Swamp Haven will have shared gold. Maybe there will be no gold.
You know what could be an item in this? You know what could be a building in this game that would actually be a useful
Alright.
thing to have? A bank. If we
Yeah.
could build a bank in Gloomhaven and that makes it so we
Okay.
can have collective gold.
So,
Maybe in the next 50%.
Maybe that's a building we haven't unlocked. I don't know. I haven't looked at all the buildings.
Snow Dancer Mastery sound tricky, but maybe I'll take a cue from Jamie and actually look at my cards and think a little. I don't want to steal their thunder.
Either way, you get an advantage even when it's just
Yeah.
a base item.
It's more than nothing, but also Miss Thumpa is not a melee attacker, so whatever. I'll figure it out. Why not? Sword of Mastery. Sweet.
Okay.
All right.
And that's it.
That's it. Okay, so 100 episodes in. I guess. What do you guys think? Frosthaven, it's good.
It's pretty good.
It's okay.
Yeah. I think it's great, to be honest.
Yeah.
Rigodeth and I were talking, and Rigodeth mentioned specifically that you think that the shortcomings of the gating the main quest behind the puzzle book idea is responsible for the fact that on Board Game Geek this game rates lower than Gloomhaven, and I agree because
I think it's
think
an
it's a
better
overall
game than
improvement.
I think in
Yeah.
every other way it's very obvious that this is better Gloomhaven.
I think the balancing is done much better. I think the scenarios tend to be more interesting.
I
Picking
think
your cards is harder, which is probably part of the game being good.
Yeah, that's part of the
Yeah,
balancing.
no,
Yeah.
pretty much the way it worked in Gloomhaven was kind of it's not that the card one card was bad or the other was bad. It was just that once you made one choice,
Yeah.
it was it would be
Didn't make
stupid to
sense.
not make the same choice over just two branches. Yeah, the characters are great.
Yeah.
There's no, at least so far, we haven't had them all. So maybe there's a night trial coming.
I think
So we have a
I
dumb
think the
gimmick.
Outpost gimmick is so much more
The
engaging
meta game is great, absolutely.
than just going to Gloomhaven and maybe buying something until you don't want to anymore.
I really like the structure
Have it
of
almost face.
3 broad quest lines at the start, but they
Yeah.
all basically amount to we're here and so are these other people, and how are we gonna get along with them? It's a weird choice that there's also apparently a main plot and it's in the puzzle book, but it's also cool because that's
James loves puzzles.
me
James
and
loves
Danielle are rewatching Buffy right now, so it puts me in mind of literally.
The Vampire Slayer?
Oh yeah,
Yeah, okay. I thought it was the other Buffy.
what other Buffy?
That's a joke.
Oh, okay. I thought it might be a weird porn, inside porn joke, because there's got to be some porn starting. At least one.
Inside Porn is my favorite show on ESPN.
Oh. So,
Da-da-da, da-da-da.
but it puts me in mind of fucking Giles figuring something out.
Yeah.
Buffy on Law and Order
Special Vampires Unit.
SVU, baby. So what am I trying to say? And I was saying to Rigo that like putting the main plot of the game behind the puzzle book that you do in your spare time is like a decision that is aimed to appeal more to me than almost any other player of the game.
Yeah.
And even I think it's kind of questionable, but I think it's kind of cool. But I can see that like a lot of people would be like, "What the fuck? Like, why can't winning at the game be what gets me through the game?"
Mm-hmm.
And that's fair. I think that's very fair. I understand that view, but in every other way, to me, this is just clearly better. Clearly better than Gloomhaven, and not as a knock on Gloomhaven, except in some ways. Like there's two branches for every character.
And some characters are obviously much more powerful than others.
Yeah.
The utterly broken Nitrad.
Which is something they apparently corrected in 2nd edition of Gloomhaven.
I'm glad they hired the sensitivity coordinator, although I still find it baffling that the announcement of the sensitivity coordinator mentioned 3 examples and none of them were the vermin race.
Yeah.
But at the same time, there hasn't been any uncomfortable like being rewarded for being racist against vermlings content in Frosthaven yet.
So far.
So far.
Option 1, quit the game. Option 2, genocide.
Genocide.
Well, the thing they did in the original Gloomhaven is that there's 2 separate city events that both the options are listen to this vermling, or the other option says never trust a vermling.
Yeah.
And the gimmick is that in one of them you should have trusted, and one of them you shouldn't. And in a sense, that conveys an anti-racist message. But in another sense, you're not super likely to get both.
Yeah.
Because it's such a thick deck. And if you only get the one where you're rewarded for the racism, I think we've really, really delivered the wrong message here. And not just in a way where you can't satirize a thing without making the people who into the thing being satirized love it. That's a thing, but I don't think that should stop you from making satire. I still think maybe we should have not done the vermin race. Or having done it, we should have taken it a lot more seriously. It's probably.
But you still love the Colbert Report.
Yes.
It's a great show.
Yep.
Much better than his new show.
So those are all good things.
His talk show?
Yeah. I like him better as well, I mean, it's still him. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like the Colbert Report better.
Yeah. So there. There you go.
Making some strong stances today on 100th episode.
He's certainly
You're
no
not
Seth Meyers when it comes to just hosting a talk
So
show.
there you have it. 100 episodes.
Seth Meyers is your poll for a good talk show.
Seth Meyers might pull for a good anything.
Alright, sure. James?
No love for Jimmy Fallon.
I mean, some.
I mean, the best Jimmy Fallon thing is probably, I mean, as his host.
Laughing during his sketches?
Yeah.
Best part about Jimmy Fallon.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, that is Jimmy Fallon's whole thing. But I meant that the best thing on the Jimmy Fallon Tonight Show was the one guest spot Norm did, where it's just called The Bit. But it includes, he's doing like a meta thing where he's reading his book, but it's a story about what he's doing right now. At one point, he's like, I looked up and like old stone-faced Fallon was. It was said in the show business that if you got to laugh out of Jimmy Fallon, you get to laugh at anybody. Anyway, this is all to say. 100 episodes in, we can conclude. This is a good game.
Yep.
It's taken us a while, and it's going to take us a while longer. Maybe not to 200 episodes, at least to finish the main plot, but I guess we'll see. I mean, I have to solve the puzzles. So who knows? Maybe
And
I'll.
the scenarios keep getting longer.
Yeah. Holy smokes! Well, here's the thing. It feels like the Algox questline is the most fundamental. Like it's all the scenarios that are earliest in the book, and it's the one we put the least time into.
Yeah.
So we might get a run of Kill 'Em All, which will be fun.
Love it.
We've now finally integrated. I only knew it was going to be a gimmick since last November, but we've integrated the Jamie Rose gimmick into the show, and it was fun. We'll do more of that in the coming years, or however long it takes.
Decades.
And also, we'll just have regular me, because I'm determined not to be killed and replaced by a fictional character.
Best of luck.
That's the goal. That's how I'm setting it.
How we're all gonna go.
And we're twirling upwards. which is exciting. Hold on. No. Fuck off.
That's the whole thing we
It's
gotta
the
do.
100th episode. Is there anything else important to say?
Says the guy who's already at his home.
Well, we ought to do the wrap up, which is to say, check it out. Probably tomorrow, I'm gonna play some Lola. I'm not promising, but I'm saying like 80% confidence right now. Let's see if how bad my face hurts when I wake up in the morning. Probably pretty bad. It's just fun.
Sorry.
It is what it is. You gotta have fun. Number 2, on Saturday, Suikoden. Because I'm feeling pretty comfortable now saying I'm not gonna do Jamie this Saturday. So definitely not Leisure Suit Larry 2. Suikoden. We're getting closer and closer to the end. Although, how much time am I gonna put in to find how many of these stars and how much longer will that make the game? We don't know. There's only one way to find it. Tune in. On Sunday, Blueprints. At this point, it's all in the hands of God. I have a rough idea of how to get to that 46th room, but it's got to give me the cards in. Got to draw the rooms in.
Yeah.
So we're going to bang our heads against that. And, maybe I'll get the mirror room and get all 4 doors, because I finally figured out you got to get all 4 doors going to the mirror and push all those buttons.
I mean, some days the day where you have a goal is the day where you suddenly discover, like, 6 new things, and you're like, holy hell, I made way more progress sideways than I thought I ever would.
So you never know.
You never know.
Cool. It's cool.
Know.
I'm winding down for vacation, so who knows what else, other things I might stick in. Next Wednesday, looking clear in the schedule, Greg.
Looking good.
We're going to try to get at least 4 more games off the beat 'em up list by tackling the Target Renegade series of non-Technos produced and designed sequels to Renegade, but not sequels to Neketsu Koa Kunio Kun.
No. Sequels to Renegade.
Yeah. Anyway, 2 of them are for home computer, and we also have another Amiga beat 'em up. I'm going to put my marker down and say I bet none of these games figured out how to make a beat 'em up on a home computer with a single button joystick any fucking fun at all. But we'll see.
We'll see.
We go in with an open mind, even if it sounds like I've already made up my mind. I promise I haven't. I would love to be pleasantly surprised. And before you know it, sky's clear for next Friday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
See who shows up.
We'll just be playing.
Who shows up?
We'll be playing Frosthaven next Friday, just like we do. So hey, it's been a wild ride. 100 episodes so far. Like I said, this is a big thing for me, just in the sense of like organizing my own brain enough to do things in my own life that mean something more than just I played video games and went to bed. I play video games, but everyone gets to see. It feels different.
Yeah.
It feels special.
And you
And
put a lot of work into this. This looks I stand by. This looks better than 90% of the streams on Twitch.
I'm not ashamed of the way this stream looks.
Yeah.
I'll do it better when Swamp Haven comes, but
Sure.
this is a good practice run for Swamp Haven.
We'll have wipes when Swamp Haven comes.
Yes, and listen, 100 episodes in, it's been a special time. I don't know a lot about life, what it all means, but I know that we only get a limited amount of time. We should spend as much of it with the people we love as we can. And this is a gimmick that I've done to make spending time with our loved ones feel like work so that we do it. And it's working so far. And I'm glad. If you stuck around to the end, thanks for sticking around to the end. If you came and you left, can't hear my voice. Glad you stopped by anyway. So thanks for stopping by. And until the next time, when we're getting started on the next 100 episodes, take care of yourselves. Be kind to everyone you meet. Bye-bye.